for updates on sports stories across the globe. Aaron Akirijola joins us. Good morning, Aaron.
Yeah, good morning to you, Ayo. Good morning to you, Doctor. Good morning to you, Rufai. I would like to pick up this particular conversation this morning from Doctor where we left off yesterday. And first of all, of course, we started off with Tyson Fury. And we know he was beaten. And majorly the turning point had to be the 7th round where Alexander Usyk literally found himself in a very, very tight corner. But now this particular bout, now of course you know in the 8th he was, or in the 9th, I beg your pardon, he was heavily rocked. Now this particular point here, where it's actually still there, pundits have said this is a huge gaffe, that the referee on the day had no business stopping that. If Tyson Fury's hand, because there are presumptions that Tyson Fury's gloves touched the canvas, and that's the only reason why the referee on the day would stop that fight there. That he would have let Alexander Usyk finish it or stop it because he felt Tyson Fury was not capable to continue. But that wasn't the case there. Opening a window, ultimately, Alexander Usyk went on to win. But if that was a sticking point, and if there was a contentious decision that went the other way, clearly Usyk would be feeling robbed about that particular incident there, right there, which is a huge gaffe. We've seen Tyson Fury get away with major decisions like this, counter decisions with referee time and time again. Although he claims that the war in Ukraine and the emotional empathy that the judges have for Alexander Usyk is the reason why he won the fight. But as of this morning, or as of yesterday, he said he wants to walk his dog, he wants to take time to recoup, and they're still talking about October for a rematch. But one thing is certain is that he will be £100 million richer if he goes for the rematch. He was paid £100 million for this particular bout. And he will be paid another £100 million if he decides to get into the ring. But we're also hearing talks that they're going to sit down talking about Tyson Fury, John Fury, and Frank Warren, and maybe decide that it's time to actually call it quits at 35. Talking about that. But in the meantime, another thing that has actually come up. There's one man, Hegovic, that because Alexander Usyk will just be having that particular glory moment for just 2 weeks. Because the IBF are insisting that that belt has to be vacated, and if Usyk cannot get into the ring in another 2 weeks, which is almost impossible, that there will be mandatory challengers and that belt will be moving to somebody else. So if October comes around, October swings around, and the opportunity for Tyson Fury to probably try to claim some belts, he can never be the undisputed champion again, because Usyk will only be holding 3 belts after 2 weeks from today. So it's unfortunate. It's only in boxing you get to see all this craziness, basically. Moving away from that, of course, Ayo, in the Premier League, Manchester City actually won the title with 2 points above Arsenal, who were the chasing pack for most of the season. And I called it earlier on, and just like probably I have a crystal ball, it actually came through, and they celebrated Phil Foden getting the decisive goal once again. Player of the season, Pep Guardiola winning his 6th title. And when you look at that, quite remarkable. Erling Haaland winning the Golden Boot for the season. You can actually see it there. Manchester United have 13 Premier League titles in the Premier League era, and Pep Guardiola has 6 Premier League titles. And when you put all that in context, Pep Guardiola will be hoping that he can stay longer. Let's find out how the future holds for him. But in the meantime, it was all doom and gloom and words of encouragement as Arsenal had to lick their lips and had to do it the hard way. They came from behind to win the particular game against Everton, but that wasn't enough because Manchester City had already put a healthy lead between themselves and West Ham United on the day. Mikel Arteta charged the fans. They were hopeful words, and it's unfortunate that the wait for another title would have to be for at least 1 more year again. It's rather unfortunate, but that is how the cookie crumbles. For Jurgen Klopp, it was a massive, massive farewell. The Fenway group were eternally grateful. But Jurgen Klopp, there are people in his camp that claim he says he doesn't want to retire. But what I heard is that he wants to retire and he's not coming back to the game again. That's, for some people, it's a drug. but he knows when to quit because he does not have the energy to go again. His last fist bump at Anfield, and kudos to him and all he has actually done. The trophies might not have flowed in, but they start saying that more people watched his farewell tour than the Manchester City triumph.
I can imagine. That's what young it is.
Yeah.
So this was the list of trophies he actually won, of course, which includes the UEFA Champions League, Super Cup, the Club World Cup, Carabao Cup, not forgetting the Community Shield, the Premier League. Away from that, let's talk about, of course, Ahmad Predic was here some few days ago, and the FIFA Congress, the 74th FIFA Congress actually came, and there were a lot of deliberations. But the biggest of them all, which was, he was also in the center of it all, has to be that particular one concerning Israel. Israel and what is going on in Hamas. As Palestine brought out something, again, Palestine said that Israel should be banned, and the Jordanian FA has also included and insisted that that should be the case. Right now, FIFA are actually looking at that particular decision and saying that they will weigh the legal consequences of that particular decision, whether to ban the Israeli FA from participating in footballing activities. Let's see how that one actually goes. And quickly, the Rome Open, Doctor, as we actually come almost to the end of the clay court season, of course, crescendoing and culminating with the Roland Garros. One man, Zverev, is off to a fine start, winning the Rome Open alongside Iga Swiatek. Swiatek is in a world of her own right now. She's gathered over 11,000 points. The last person to have actually done this amount of points in a calendar year is Serena Williams back in 2015. So she's looking good for the Roland Garros. Let's see how it actually goes. And finally, with the talk, now we hear that River State are joining the long list of states that want to be hosting races. Of course, River State will be hosting their own international marathon. Sometime they say they want to use it to culminate the one-year celebration of Governor Fubara. But in the meantime, the race that started this whole trend, Okpekpe, is going into its 10th year. And kudos to them as they will be celebrating this weekend, 10 years in the racing. Race has become the favorite sport of everyone that wants to invest in sports this time around. I'm hoping and I'm praying that other sports can make themselves very, very attractive, that governments will put monies, because we are seeing Lagos State invest heavily in the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. We've seen Enugu State recently joining, Ogun State, Abuja. Now the latest is River State.
Okay. I mean, spot on for River State. I mean, everybody, it's a low-hanging fruit because it's something everybody can participate in. I think Abeokuta too, if my memory serves, I saw something around the marathon in Ogun State or in Abeokuta and all of that. So, but it's also about the passion of the state government. I remember in the 90s, the early 90s, about 93, 94-ish, the governor of Oyo State also used to be big on cycling.
Okay.
So we used to have cycling tours in Oyo State, in Ibadan, and everything that you'll see, cyclists having tournaments like that and they're racing. So it's also, I think, the passion of the person in there. But like you said, let's experience other sports. So a couple of things. I think this is Fury getting his comeuppance. Fury has always succeeded based on questionable decisions.
True.
To a large extent, for me, Ngannou beat Fury. But they did Ojoro and split decision to give the fight to Fury. Now, Fury coming out after he was pounded, and that was a technical knockout, as far as I'm concerned.
Because
that was Aaron.
Because Usyk was about to swing.
Let's not deceive ourselves. He's a technical knockout. Even the referee was complicit in that malfeasance. You know why? After the couple of rounds that he kept on hitting his back on the ropes and everything, the referee also has stopped the fight and declared it for Fury, for Usyk.
No, but you won't do that because this is Tyson Fury that can take punishment.
It's not a case
all day long.
It's not a case of
because
taking punishment. Because
you're still able to fight in the 10th, in the 11th, and in the 12th.
It's not a case of taking punishment. It's a case of looking at the dynamics of what was already on ground. Those punches could not be responded to.
True.
Fury had lost it. That's why he was going back to the rings. You thought if, as that spell was going on, Usyk could bring him out of the ring, they were not going to punch him down. They were going to punch him down. So Fury coming out to now say it's because of the war in Ukraine, it's just balderdash as far as I'm concerned. I don't think, he has triggered a rematch. I don't think he should go to the rematch. He will be terribly disgraced. Usyk was fitter than him. Usyk made him sick, beat him sick and silly.
Usyk has been in camp for 7 months.
So you cannot contest that. So let's just forget that. And for Man City, kudos to Guardiola. He's built a very great side. I mean, the guy's a monster of a coach, you know. He's the most successful coach in the last 15 years in Europe, about 33 trophies to show for it. Yeah. The next coach, pales in comparison, I think they just won about 14, 15 trophies. That's the height. Even the almighty Mourinho is about 10 trophies or thereabouts, or over 11 trophies in the last 15 years. So give it to him. And Jurgen Klopp, if he says he wants to go, so be it. But the kind of Jurgen Klopp I know he still has some fight in him. Maybe probably
he says he wants to go. That people that think that he will come back, no. But
it depends on one factor.
What?
And Dr. Abad, that's where you come in, the power of the woman. Jurgen Klopp, behind every success, has this woman called Yulia. His lovely wife, he met in 2005, and they got married. In fact, you know, he wanted to go to Manchester United at first. He had gone through a tour of the stadium and everything. But Eula said, no, don't go to Manchester United. Then you will succeed in Liverpool.
No man can succeed without a supportive
so if Eula says, come back, Klopp, he will come.
That's why the Bible says, who finds a good woman,
finds a good thing.
That's what the Bible tells us.
Let me just quickly talk about, obviously, congratulations to Man City and Arsenal. You know, coming second. Yeah, deservedly so. And I do think that this positions them well for the campaign, for the next campaign, you know, for the 2025 season. So congratulations all. I really wanted them to win. I was hoping even till the very last minute yesterday. And when Man City was winning and they were losing initially, I was like, you people. But thankfully, you know, they were able to redeem themselves and finish second on a high note. So for all those people who were sending me DMs, you know, very mean of you, but thank you so much, Arsenal. Now going to the Fury and Usyk match. When you know, looking at the footage and looking at the height, you know, it was like a David and Goliath situation.
6'2",
and the David with the sling, you know, brought down Goliath. In this case, Usyk brought down Fury. Yeah. And what people had said was that even though it was said to be by split decision, fans were angry that it ought not to have even been a split decision. That how could Judge Craig Metcalfe have said that it was, you know, that gave the game to Fury?
Fury, in all fairness, Fury started off well.
Yeah, but they said, I mean, that was so clear that it was a Usyk victory.
It could have been a game plan, but Fury started off very well.
Yeah, it was so clear that they should have just given him the unanimous decision as to being the winner of this match. Well, let's see what will happen in October when they have the rematch. Now, talking about him forfeiting one of his world, you know, heavyweight world belt, is the fact that he's forfeiting that particular match to prepare for October. That's news on ground. So he's chosen not to fight.
No, but of course, it's even impossible.
Yeah, so
in the state in which, because he had gashes on his eye,
it's not really a bad thing.
No, but the IBF shouldn't be doing that to him, because how can you just fight? It takes 6-7 months to prepare for a fight. Yeah. How can you now be placing a mandatory fight almost
unreasonable,
almost a month, 2 months down the line from
it's the way with sports. It's the same criticism for FIFA and how football had to put back. It's sport. It's all about the money, all about the you know, ensuring that the fans are satisfied at the expense of
in other sports. At least you enjoy that particular glory for a year.
Not like football. Football is back to back. You're playing back to back, and finally ending our races. I do agree with you that it's great to see the state governments coming out to support races. However, it's always following the bandwagon. That's the challenge. So when the races started, when the Lagos Marathon, Access Marathon became very popular, then the other states caught on and started making it theirs. I would like to see a state stand up for, like what you're saying, Rufai, a particular sport and put their money behind it and let it, because races were not that popular before it started.
And kudos to the Edo State government, because regardless of whether it's APC or PDP, the Edo State government has
been consistent. So that's what I'm just saying. In terms of, let's embrace other sports. There's so many sports and
Nigerians make it attractive.
Yes,
that's the big question.
They can. Racing wasn't attractive some years back until it started gaining, you know, reputation, especially from the Access Lagos Marathon. And I must give kudos to private sector investment as well. Okay. They really, you know, brought up that competition, that's Access Bank in this case, brought up that competition and made it very attractive. So I think in terms of even investing in other sports is an opportunity. That's what I'm just saying.
All right.
Okay, a number of issues.
Yeah.
Number one, Usyk versus
Fury.
And I predicted Usyk was going to win.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Usyk won fair and square.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
I mean, Fury was saved by the bell. He had already crumbled into the ropes.
Yes,
so this your assumption that maybe the referee should have allowed the...
no, he should have given him the joy of bringing him down.
Hold on a moment. Even Usyk himself says it doesn't matter. A win is a win. So he has no complaints about whether the referee stopped the bout in the 9th round. And you say 2 weeks, you know, Usyk has to fight again. It doesn't matter. What has happened is that he has joined the pantheon of greats.
Yes, he has.
Who were,
yes, he
you
has.
know, undisputed heavyweight champions. Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, Buster Douglas, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, I think, is also on that, and Jack Dempsey, who was the undisputed champion in 1921. Jack Dempsey, who was undisputed champion in 1921, and Joe Louis, who had the longest reign of 12 years. So it doesn't matter, even if it is for 2 weeks. At least he has made history.
No, he has made history.
As for Fury, well, it's written into the contract that there will be a rematch. But he's been talking from both sides of the mouth, saying this was the daftest decision for the rematch. He will have to consult his wife and his children. We have said wives are important.
No, the wife actually, the wife has a huge say on what happens to him.
But we must also know that a contract is a contract. I hope he will not, you know, be so scared he will run away from the race.
No, but if he does, boxing leaves him behind completely.
But in any case, that's what he has said. Now, Max Verstappen has won his 5th victory in 7 matches.
In 7 races.
The last one at the Imola over the weekend. With Lando Norris of McLaren coming second. He's been second, he's been first, he's been second. But clearly, it looks like, you know, Verstappen is on his way to asserting himself as the greatest, you know, in the game. Now, you mentioned Zverev, the German number 3 seed, who won the Italian Open. Swiatek won a 3rd title in 4 years. She won the Italian Open in 2021, 2022, 2024. Next place is the French Open.
Where it all matters.
Which is a clay court, which opens on 26 May. For the Verstappen team, they are going next to Monaco, I think this weekend. Now, let's say congratulations to Man City. I mean, it speaks for itself. Very convincing. 4 in a row, you know, winning the Champions League. That's very impressive.
Juggernauts.
Well, as for Arsenal, well, okay, I mean, you know, they came close last season. They came close this season. You know, well, they can keep hoping, you know, but at least it's still a good performance.
No, but Doctor, I must say this.
Some people have awarded them 2-1. They say they got at least second-class upper, you know, in terms of performance.
Doctor, I must say this. Arguably, this is the biggest rebuild we've ever seen in a long time. Mikel Arteta took this team from a D-rated team to probably a B+. And maybe they just need a striker to make the difference. We'll have to wait and see if Arsenal and the appetite to succeed actually kicks in.
They've done well, there's no doubt. Congratulations also to Chelsea women's team who won the Super League. Emma Hayes is leaving for the United States to become the coach of the United States national team. But she took Chelsea to the very height. They won the Super League.
Lady.
They've won so many trophies under her.
Serial winner.
Jurgen Klopp is leaving, right?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, his last Euro was impressive. 2-0 win over the Wolves. Even if Liverpool would have wanted to win the Premier League, but not this time around. Finally, Leverkusen. You know, they've won the Bundesliga. 51 matches unbeaten. They stand a chance of having a treble. Wednesday, I think this week, you know, they go into the final of the Europa League in Dublin. And then they also have the Loftus Cup on Saturday. You know, if they win that too, it will have been 53, you know, wins unbeaten.
By this time,
one after the other. And that's quite a commendation.
This is the greatest. This is almost like
Xabi Alonso.
This is almost like the greatest achievement because when you talk about other unbeatens that has actually happened, basically it's been in the league, so they've actually lost in Europe. But having a team that has actually dominated both locally and internationally says it all. But they cannot call themselves Invincible because a particular Jens Lehmann actually trademarked the name Invincible. So he owns the right. So unfortunately, they are unbeaten but not invisible.
Well, but this is the best performance of this type in the last 59 years.
Fantastic.
In the Bundesliga.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you very much.
Always a pleasure.